It's Paul from Magpie 24/7. By the time you'll be seeing this, it'll be after the game, after the Lord Mayor's show. But as I record this 20 minutes beforehand, I've seen the team. I'd like to think that we're confident going into this one. Nobody seems to have an idea about formation. I like the fact that he's going for attack being the best form of defence. So he's gone for both Callum Wilson and Alexander Isak to start up front. We've got Anthony Gordon there. And then the bench, we've actually got a bench today with some different options. You've got Big Joe on there. Pope is back. Can't wait until he's back between the sticks, to be honest. But Joe Linton, Miggy's on there. Harvey Barnes is on the bench. So there is different ways to be able to switch it around, move it around. And Elliot Anderson, I'm a little bit gutted that he's out of it. He didn't have the best game last time out, but you know, prior to that, he's looked decent. He's looked hungry. He's looked motivated. So a little bit disappointed that Elliot Anderson has missed out, and Sean Longstaff is still involved in the team. But great. I'm really feeling boosted, energetic, positive about our chances before kick-off with those players back on the bench. And the fact that he's going with an attacking mentality. He's not going to be sitting back. Look, the defence is patched up. It is past threadbare. You know, I had to chuckle. I watched the stuff that earlier on that the Man United manager come out with about how much missing time for his players and stuff like that, and how many different combinations that he's had at Manchester United. Well, you know, my heartstrings and all that, the world's smallest violin, I've really got no sympathy for the bloke, to be honest. You know, he's at a club that's spent heavily, tens of millions of pounds for so many years. Their squad and everything else should be absolutely and utterly, you know, top notch, with plenty of different options in and stuff. So I'm not having it that he's coming out with his whinging and stuff like that. Look, we're still off the arse end of fucking, what, 14 years of Mike Ashley and what that does to you, and the club's literally being built up bit by bit. So yeah, no sympathy for me with regards to the likes of Manchester United coming out and complaining, witching and bitching. But Newcastle United, yes, you know, it's patched up, it's makeshift, it's, you know, who's left. However, the fact that he's gone with the attacking intent, he's gone with the extra striker, he's gone with Callum Wilson and Isak up front, I just think that he's thought, you know what, it just isn't working this season. Defensively, we're not the same beast as what we were last season. Last season, we were known, weren't we, for the defensive stability of the team. And this year, we're anything but we are one of the league's highest, you know, goal scoring sides. So he's thought, fuck it, I'm going to go with everybody. I'm going to go with it, and I'm going to try and score plenty and attack the best form of defence, and, you know, just sort of skirt over the situation that what we've got one centre back fit and available, Dan Burn, who makes his 100th appearance today in black and white, which is cracking. You know, a local lad, that's going to mean a lot to him, a lot of pride in it. He'll be skipper on the side as well, I would imagine. But yeah, he's literally going for it. Eddie Howe is going for it. He's going for goals. He's confident. He thinks we can get about them. And yeah, let's just see. You know, you wouldn't be surprised if we conceded, but I'm hopeful that we will be able to outscore these, and maybe something like a 3-1 victory for Newcastle United, which I know away from home. But look, we've got to get it done. You know, it's a couple of games left of the season. We've not done great away from home all season, but you know, if you are to get into Europe, Turf Moor, Burnley away, with all the problems that they've had, is one you've got to be targeting. They are going to be fighting, no doubt about it, tooth and nail. They are balls deep in relegation mire. So they've got to literally put it all out there. This is huge for them. They could get out of the relegation zone with a victory over us today. I wish I could be there. I've been to Turf Moor before. Of course, I've experienced I've experienced the stadium. It's a bit like a fine wine, isn't it? No, what am I on about? Fuck me. It's like fucking drinking terps as opposed to a fine wine. It's pretty old school, old fashioned, and a little bit shy, to be honest. But taking nothing away from the Burnley support, great support, decent atmosphere. Slightly shite facilities and stadium, if I'm being honest. No disrespect at all. It's no disrespect. I've got to call it as I saw it. I always remember the tent in the away corner. Different levels at Burnley, but feeling confident beforehand. 3-1, that's my prediction before the match comes out. So next part of the video will be after the game, so I'll be able to see whether I got something right, anything right, whether we got 3 points or anything else like that. So fingers crossed. I will see you on the other side of these 90 minutes and see how many times I can shout and swear at the radio and TV and stuff like that during the game. Right, see you on the other side.
And I'll tell you, honestly, I will love it if we beat them. Love it.
Hi, how's everybody doing? It's Paul from Magpie 24/7. After Newcastle United did exactly what I said they were going to do, attack being the best form of defence, Newcastle United go for it, 2 up top, and comfortable winners. Didn't really have to get out of second or third gear still, and yet still an absolute class and some above our hosts today, Burnley. No disrespect to Burnley, but yeah, it was just all too easy. I think they had 10 minutes at the beginning of the game when I was watching it, where I sat there and thought, oh, this could be a difficult afternoon. You know, they're fighting for their lives, they're fighting for every point, every goal, and so on and so forth. But as soon as Callum Wilson got the first goal, it was never, ever in doubt, was it? And it was one of those games that you felt first goal was absolutely huge. It was massive. It was imperative to get our noses ahead. And that's what we did, courtesy of the ever reliable Callum Wilson, scoring yet again. And no doubt Isak will get all the plaudits for this game, despite missing a penalty kick. We haven't said that in a long time. Not so much a miss as opposed of the keeper pulling off heroics. There was some hoo-ha around it, around encroachment and stuff like that. But if it's not clear and obvious, for fuck's sake, just move on with the game. VAR desperately needs a retune over the summer. But what doesn't need a retune is Newcastle United's push for European competition. You know, boosted no doubt by the fact that Pope was back on the bench, Miggy was on the bench, Joe Linton was back on the bench. We just seemed much more of a unit, despite the fact that the defence was makeshift. It was patched up. I was a little bit worried, but like I touched upon in the preview that you've just seen before this bit, I was confident. I thought that he'd go for it today. I thought he'd unleash both of them, and I thought he'd aim for goals, with goals being an attack being the best form of defence, and that is what he has done, and it's put us into a fantastic position in the league. Hopefully, one or two other teams can do us some favours, but that game against Manchester United at very Old Trafford is looking more and more, as it goes by, like a huge European decider. And to be honest, I mean, I would have thought you were absolutely off your tits if you said this a couple of weeks ago. But even Spurs, they're not a million miles away, with the form that Spurs are in. It's a traditional bottle time of the season, isn't it? And Spurs are doing what Spurs always do. And that's just sort of gift stuff away, switch off, implode at the worst possible time. And, with the way that they're playing, the results that they're getting, the performances that they're putting in, it's like their managers all of a sudden sort of thinking that they're going to be playing against fucking Rafe Rovers or something like that. It's so strange because, at the beginning of the season, Spurs fans were piping up about possible title challenges and the football and everything else. But now, very much, it's gone full circle, full turn, and Spurs are in rotten form. Newcastle United now one of the form teams in the entire league. I mean, I think we were third in the form table before today's game. It's one I'll have to get checked. And we've got Isak breathing down Haaland's neck, chasing him down for the golden boot, which is absolutely and utterly fantastic. And you've got Callum Wilson. His goals per game ratio is absolutely fantastic. Talk about deadly strike partnerships in the Premier League. We've certainly got one. It's just a shame that we can't see it more often, with injury getting in the road of no doubt undoubted quality. But today, to summarise, we'll obviously come back with a full review later on, but a massive golfing class. Burnley, I thought, given the fact that was the carrot of getting out of the relegation zone, were really disappointing, but I take nothing away from Newcastle United, who I thought were good value for the 3 points. The away support is absolutely fantastic. It's not the best stadium to go to. I've been there for Newcastle United. I've watched us there, It's not great for the supporter, for the those going to the games. But those who have travelled, those who have been lucky enough to get the tickets, have certainly been royally treated. And Newcastle United again, just hitting the goals. And that maybe is our route to European success this season. And despite the injuries, despite the setbacks, despite the bans, despite the referees, despite the Premier League, despite PSR, despite FFP, Newcastle United are still balls deep in this relegation. Oh no, that's our host today. We're still in this European fight. I feel sorry for Burnley in the relegation trouble. I really, really do. They've got a good manager who likes to try and play attacking football, but it just hasn't worked, has it? So good last season in the Championship, but it just shows you that there is a massive gulf still in between the Championship and the Premier League. So let me know down below your thoughts on today's game, your player of the match. I thought there were so many contenders for Newcastle United. Jacob Murphy was great. Bruno as ever. Hall, Livramento, Dan Burn holding it together at the back, last man standing at the moment. Everywhere you looked, there was great performances. Players putting the bodies on the line, doing everything for the cause. And I just feel with the momentum, with the results of some of the others, with players coming back finally from injuries. I mean, we've got obviously the three lads who've been back today. Trippier should be back for next weekend's finale at St James's Park against Brighton. So that's another welcome boost, another welcome addition, another option from the bench. Everything is looking all of a sudden very, very rosy in the garden for Newcastle United. Can we finish in these European slots? What competition should it be? Can we even catch Spurs? Or is that just literally a bridge too far, given the fact I think they had like a 10-point lead over us at one point, and we're chasing it down and the numbers are coming down. But will we run out of steam? A bit like Liverpool last season when they were chasing us down, they just ran out of steam right at the end. Could it be another sort of similar situation to that? Let me know down below in the comments. I will have some more videos over the next day or two up on the YouTube channel, so continue to subscribe, continue to support Magpie 24/7. And in the meantime, take care, keep it tuned, and speak to you.